Welcome to This Commerce Life. We are an unscripted podcast dedicated to small businesses and entrepreneurs in the retail and consumer packaged goods space in Canada and the United States.
I am Phil Chang, co-host and co-founder.
And I'm Kenny Vanucci, co-host and co-founder of This Commerce Life.
Our love is the journey to retail, and our passion is sharing that with you every week.
Are you recording already?
Tazz. Hey.
How are you?
Guys, I was reading the newspaper on
It's
my
all good.
phone. On my
It's all
phone.
good. It's all good.
Is anything
It's all
exciting happening?
good. Yeah.
Everything sucks, Kenny.
You know what? The news is really shitty. Like, it's really nothing that exciting to read, is there? There's a lot of doom and gloom. I
You're
don't stop
not
reading
wrong.
the news.
You're not wrong. It's kind of
It's
terrible.
all doom.
So you know what I do all day when I'm working now? Just tunes. I have music on all day. I don't know what's going on the planet.
Tunes
Or I'll
and
listen
podcasts.
to podcasts. I was listening to the three guys.
The Three Idiots.
Smartless.
Smartless.
I love that one.
I love
Oh my
those
god,
guys.
I love.
That's such a good.
Oh my god, those guys are so
Those
funny.
guys are.
So funny. They're so
So
stupid. I
funny.
love them. I just so funny. Love that one. Just absolutely love that one.
They're so good.
They're so good. Like
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like,
Yeah.
I stopped reading the news. I mean, or watching them. It's just on it. I can't do it.
It's depressing.
It
Totally.
really
depressing.
is. It really is, and a lot of it out of control. I heard that.
What
New York
was
City.
that? New York
That's
City.
literally. I mean, I'm pretty high up, but it's. I can't take it anymore. It's gotten
What
so
is
loud
it?
in New York.
What is that? That dog sound like?
Motorcycle. It was a motorcycle.
Oh, I thought it was
it's
a dog.
motorcycle.
No, I wish it was a dog. But if it was a dog, I'd be running out to save it. So
Oh, it's a motorcycle. At least they go fast. Unless there's a whole gang of them, and then it's different.
we've had those. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're good.
We're
Yeah,
really
we're just
good.
just hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just did a small record
We're,
before you got on.
Hmm.
we're
Yeah.
trying to light things up a little.
Like what? Has it been hardcore?
I think I've gone hardcore. You think,
Really?
Kenny? I've gone off the deep end a little bit.
You're
You
more
know
cynical
what
than
it, okay,
normal.
so here's the thing is, I think I've been working a lot, and then recently I let a contract expired, right? We kind of like finished working together, and so I kind of gained all this time back, and then like all of a sudden then it was like, oh, now I've got all this time, and I'm starting to zero back in on the podcast, and like I'm starting to think about all the things that we don't do that we should do that we're now doing. so I think like, and poor Kenny, right? Like
I don't know
like,
what we're
'cause
doing.
now I've
I just-
turned
I
into
just-
an
yeah,
early riser. So like by the time he wakes up, he's got like 3 emails, 2 texts, a couple of WhatsApps from me going, we need to, and I rearranged it. We got like, I was thinking about, and he's like,
Well, it's funny though, because my
what's
alarm goes
going
at
on,
20
you
to
know,
7,
like-
right?
yeah.
So I guess for him it's
Uh-huh.
20 to 10,
10,
Yeah.
right? East
but I
Coast,
get
West
up
Coast.
and it's like ping, ping, ping. I'm thinking, fuck, man, I'm not even out of bed yet. Like, well, what we were, and then it's this, and then it's stuff like, and he's asking me like, when you've known him, right? So when you ask things and you're thinking that's quasi rhetorical because, like, I mean, what do you want me to say to that? First off, I either don't know what you're asking me, right? So I'm thinking, it sounds good. It'd be like going to a car. You need like the Seinfeld. You need a Johnson rod. Well, you got to put it in there, don't you? What am I going to? If you need a Johnson rod, you need a Johnson rod. So he does that to me. I'm thinking, that sounds like we should definitely do that.
So sometimes I
don't know
go,
what the hell you're doing.
yeah, and then at the end he goes,
Sure.
okay, wait, so where do you want me to be, and what do I
What do I need to do for this?
Wait, do you control things, Phil? Are you the one who essentially handles all the technical stuff? And
Pass. If he doesn't do that, there is no
Kenny,
podcast.
you just show up. Sorry about my cat's ass and the.
It's okay.
No, that's okay. It's all good.
If he doesn't do what he does, if he doesn't do it, there is no podcast.
I figured that.
I don't know how to do it.
Uh,
I mean, I guess I could probably figure it out, or get Daniel to help me say, listen, help Dad out here because I don't know. I just show up. He hits record. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I see us on video once in a while. Oh, that's good.
yeah, we're trying to step up our YouTube game. The LinkedIn thing has kind of blown up for us in the last couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
it's been awesome.
The episode downloads are up, like everything's up. So we're just
Really good.
Yeah.
we're moving.
That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
After 4.5 years, we're almost somewhere.
That's pretty good.
I don't know where the hell we are, but
Well, you started this for just fun,
Yeah,
right? I
for
mean,
fun.
where were you expecting to go with
Yeah.
this?
We
I
don't
didn't,
know.
honestly, I didn't think, I thought we would have been dead 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Seriously, because I thought, well, what are we, first of all, what are we going to talk about? Like, so it's only so many times, I can phone him every day. Well, we do talk every day.
Yeah, we do.
That's
talk every
okay,
day.
but nobody's going
Yeah.
to want to listen to that talk.
Clearly,
So,
people are listening.
well,
Kenny.
someone's listening because you're 10, 15 episodes in, you're thinking, okay, I mean, this is not that bad. We can chit chat. I think what saved our butt was guests.
Mhm.
Because once we started having guests on, it made it easier for us to because otherwise we talk about the same things,
No, but
like, right?
and then the guests just get better and
Yeah,
better.
it's
You
awesome.
have good guests. I
and
love your
better.
guests.
They're just like
I love what we've had on. Like, I think
Mhm.
it's pretty diverse. Like, yeah, I think it's been a hoot. I'm glad
it's been really fun.
he told me we were going to do this years ago because
Yeah, it's been really fun.
I'm glad he
Yeah.
told you were going to do this.
I'm glad he told me that we're
years
doing a podcast. I said, yes, we are doing a podcast. I came
No,
up to I said,
but
I don't know
there's
what we're doing, but
more.
we're doing a
But there's
podcast.
more. Like we haven't got to the video portions of this yet. But we
thought
gotta
we are now.
so we are. But what we gotta do is we've got to get the video portions up so that we can start doing the things that we really, really know a lot about, but we need video to do so that people will watch us. So,
See, Tazz, what did he say?
like,
He said
but-
you need to do a video portion. That's all I got.
That's all I
no,
heard.
okay, but
So my
but-
question usually is,
you know what?
So what do we want to do? When do we do
What-
this is
what-
no. Listen. This
But
is
this
perfect.
the video portion? Like
But-
this is video.
No, but
What
this
is it
is
that people wanna
okay.
watch?
But what really matters is because all three of us are ex retailers, and of the ex retailers, I'm the lightest weight. Right, the two of you are like heavyweight, full time ex
I want to be
retailers.
super heavyweight.
But like, what happens to your brain when you walk a store?
Oh, I can tell you.
Oh,
My brain
do-
starts
Do you
going
see?
to poop
That's
land.
not video. That's video.
I like
Do you
that.
understand what I mean? Like, so what I'm saying is we need to get to video. Like, this is just the lightweight shit that gets us to the video. Because
So
what
how do we
I really want to
video
do. No.
you-
So what? Okay. So
like you'll
so
put a
here's
GoPro
the.
on me, and I'll go into a store.
Like you
and
I
physically
don't know.
want
No,
video?
it could
What do you
it could be. I don't. It could be
See,
somebody
Taz, I'm so happy you're here
filming.
because this is what happens.
No, but
See, he
it
says
could
shit
be
like this. I don't know what we're talking
Listen,
about.
shut up
No,
for a
I
second.
get
Let
it,
me
I
talk.
get it.
No,
Totally get it.
but what it is like we need to capture people in the things that they are most passionate about, right? Because something happens to all three of us when we're in stores, right? As you go in the store and like
I start picking it apart.
like both of you know what I'm talking about. Like I get
I
like this
rip stores
too.
apart.
And
So
like
do I.
but people that are walking with you, I forget they're there. And then you just start going like, oh, no, but don't you see, like, this shouldn't be here, this should be there. And then why are we doing shelves like this? Why is this merch like this? Like, you're wasting your end here. And what are you doing with this? Like, why are the retails all fucked
Absolutely.
up, right? And
Yep.
then, like,
And then
what
you
you
look at the
turn,
shelves, the way they
Yeah.
pet stores, forget it. The way they put cans, visibility, empty space,
All of it.
and then no conversation. No conversation. Not even
But-
let me know how I can help you.
But
They're
the
there picking their
people-
noses or looking
But the
at
people who are
camera.
following and walking with you, by now they've written 8 pages of notes, right? Because they're just like, wait, stop. What did you say about the back there? What was
Yeah.
that thingy? You know, like
Yeah.
so. What we need to do is like, so the YouTube stuff now is we need to get enough viewership so we start getting some funding. So we can take the funding and I can pay for a camera that puts us in the places that really lights the brains up, right? Like, because that's where, do you know what I mean? Like, podcasting is amazing, but what
Yeah.
really lights
The next step.
you guys up is like, you know, walking through stores, right? Like, imagine
I
if
love
you, so imagine if the three of us were in a store together getting filmed. Like, there's not even enough fireworks that come out of that, right? Because you just like cameras would melt,
But
like
then
it's
we need to be
just
able to do
like.
stuff. Because I'll tell you
But
what.
this is what I'm talking about, right? So we
I'm
got to
okay
get
with you now.
there.
I understand you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, because all week everybody's been posting the displays they've gotten, like say post CHMA
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I'm looking at the displays and they're all excited. I'm thinking, these are the most butt ugly. Like, who builds an inverted pyramid on an end? Are you stupid? Like, why would you even take a picture of this piece of shit? You got little guys on the bottom one level, and then at the top you go 3 high.
Oh my God.
Okay, what pyramid doesn't stand that way? You got to build a sensicle.
And my
Okay,
background is
oh my God.
packaging and in the retail world, you know,
Oh,
between the
it's-
Walmarts and seeing how packaging is put out there and displays. And I look at things, I'm like,
Yes.
oh my
Colors don't
God.
So
work.
this is what
And
I'm.
then
So this
seeing
is
it
what I'm
retail.
talking about. So this is
Drives me
so
nuts.
as soon as I got out of the last gig, I started looking at all our stuff, going, we're just doing what we need to do to get the podcast popular. But what we really need to do is the podcast gets us to all the good shit. Like, so getting the two of you out into stores
How are we gonna do
together
that, though?
separately, like all of that kind of stuff. And then the other pieces, like think of all the people that we've met. Like we met the Made Local people. They do this in a kitchen. Like they do this in social responsible kitchens where they teach people to enable themselves.
Yep.
You
How cool is
want
that, though?
footage,
That's-
but like how cool would
that's
it be
cool.
to meet people in those kitchens?
Well, just see
Right,
how
like,
it's changed their
or
world.
to meet the apiary where she gets her honey from.
That'd be
Mhm.
cool,
Like
too.
holy shit, that stuff's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But we need like that's where we like we,
Okay,
we
but
need
now we need
to
plane
get
tickets. Now we need
yeah
video.
but that's
Mamma
the
mia,
thing
now
is
it's,
so
hey.
you got to get so we got to get listener and viewership into a place where we figure out the funding formula. So we need
We
some
get sponsors.
we need sponsors that are service providers, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
that the brands that come onto the show, they get benefits from these service providers, right? So that's one thing. And then the second is the YouTube stuff. If we can get the views up, we start to monetize, and then we drive the money back into this. So that pays for plane tickets, that pays for, like, we have a list as long as our arm now. Like there, Sarah, who does the chocolates in Newfoundland,
I'd
she's
love to do that
like,
one.
she made something out of nothing. Like every Newfoundlander that I've ever met now is like, oh my God, that ice cream. Oh my God, that chocolate. And you're going, like, she's this girl from, not girl, I don't mean that disrespectfully. She's just this person who came from Ontario, moved out to like,
This rock star woman has
like,
figured it out.
and then
like,
just
seriously.
started
On
making
the
chocolate
walk.
because she
She's
loved it,
doing
right?
what she
Like,
loves. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Do you know
she's
what I
doing
mean?
what she
Like,
loves.
yeah.
But it doesn't make
Absolutely.
sense. Though. If you
Yeah.
listen to that story, it never
Yeah.
made sense. You come from the
Yeah.
big city. You go to.
But this
like,
is what I'm
Newfoundland
talking
is
about. Like,
lovely, but it's,
so the
how do you do
podcast
things
was
there?
interesting, but the video footage of
that
her
would be
doing
awesome.
what she loves, it's like.
Well, do you remember when she showed us the front street?
Yeah.
She showed us the street. Like there's
It's
6
like-
people in the town. I'm thinking, like, seriously, you went from Toronto, and in your mind, your house is across the way. You got a boat to town. Town's got one
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
So you build a store in town for high-end chocolates.
Yeah.
What kind of person thinks that? There's no logic to that.
But
And
it's amazing, right?
she's-
Like that
she's-
stuff makes me
that's
the
pop,
best
right? Like,
things are illogical, Kenny. The
I guess so,
best-
because it's
the-
phenomenal.
Well, seriously, who would have thought Apple would have been logical? Who would have thought we would be staring at our phones
We
20
thought this is
hours a
Star
day?
Trek. Who would have thought we'd be doing this?
Yeah, I
Star
know,
Trek. I mean, when I
know.
This is
watched
Star
the
Trek.
Jetsons, I said,
Yeah.
"Is that real? Are the Jetsons real?"
Well, trust-
Seriously.
Well,
But
this is
they-
video
you know,
phone
it's
calling. This is
imagination.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's
Yeah.
going to understand unless you're
Yeah.
our ages, I guess.
Oh,
Is
come
that-
on. VR, when you talk about virtual reality, holy
Oh my
shit.
God.
Oh,
VR.
yeah, that was that's the last podcast we just
Yeah.
uploaded. I didn't
Yeah.
understand any of that.
No, I didn't listen to it. Yeah,
That's okay. I was
my
on it
God.
and I didn't hear it either, so don't worry about it.
Oh my God. So we've
I
we've
know
got
what
Tazz Latifi on,
Hi.
and we're excited to have her back. I just realized because it's like 15 minutes in.
Well, that's pretty much normal.
And as
Kinda
usual,
normal.
we lost our minds, right?
Yeah,
But before we go, yeah. So we have Tazz back, and Tazz was a retailer, right? Ran
Mhm.
Petropolis, and
Right.
then so we're kind of catching up with her now. Find out what she's doing now, and then clearly we don't actually need topics because the
we'll
three
talk
of us
about
get
anything.
together.
Thank God, because I'm pretty boring.
lights up. So I don't think so.
well, the last time
That's
you
very
were
modest
on,
of you, but I don't think so.
the last time you were on, you were now again, I don't know because I haven't talked to Phil. Like you were thinking of sort of acting
Exiting.
in the retail side.
Yeah,
of it, like
yeah,
you weren't-
yeah.
I sold my
Yeah.
store. I
you
sold my
did do it.
store.
Ah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moons
which
ago,
was-
probably, right?
when was it?
Last fall?
Summer. Last
Oh,
summer.
last summer. Okay.
Yeah. I think it was, last summer.
Okay.
My time is kind of merging, I don't know. I don't know what's what anymore. So yeah, last summer I sold it.
Okay,
and
cool.
I was so happy to just walk away.
How
It
many
was
years
so
of
nice.
retailing?
17.
a long time.
17 years. That's a long
Yeah.
time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Not a single store, but meanwhile I was
Doesn't
also
matter. It's a
doing-
long time.
No, but and I was also doing
No,
the
but-
food consulting,
Yeah.
and so now I'm focused on the food consulting, and actually
Okay.
you guys are going to be talking to somebody I work with
Yes.
in the coming future.
Yes.
On the sorry, cat ass.
That's okay.
So yeah, I'm doing the food consulting with a company that does bioresonance testing. So that's interesting. And I'm also doing contract work with retailers. I do
Okay.
education for retailers. I have classes every week teaching them how to buy, how to talk to customers.
Wow,
so
that is so cool.
it's been fun. And I'm doing it through for the 5 Strands company, but it goes beyond that. 5 Strands is just a conduit. It's the tests that I use, but I have to teach people how to communicate with their customers, which it's interesting. So many retailers.
I think they should be teaching you that, but that's
Yeah.
It's really interesting how little pet store owners anyway train their staff. There's just no training. It's frightening. It's
hard though when you're small though. You know what I mean? Like it's all hands on deck. Like you just don't spend the time.
No, you have to.
You got no choice. Otherwise, what are they doing? You're just another store then.
You're competing with. Yeah, and Chewy has amazing customer service. When you go on Amazon, you don't need customer service. You're doing a search essentially.
Exactly.
So if you're in a physical brick and mortar, you have to.
If you don't do it, I'll just go to the large store, get
customers.
price, because I'm not getting any service there either. I may as well pay less.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No,
Yeah.
seriously. I mean, otherwise, what am I doing? I came. You should go to small to learn something. If you're not going to teach me, then I'm going to get price sensitive. Like I will. I know me. But
Absolutely.
at that point, I'll just say, well, I can buy that at the big box. Well, I just do there.
It's funny because Kenny and I got on, we got on a little bit earlier because we wanted to record a fast thought that we'll put out on YouTube tomorrow. But one of the things that we were talking about before that is how important like retail fundamentals are. So like, right now we work with people on the brand side, but even there, the science of retail is something that's not, you know what I mean? Like salespeople go out and sell things, but what's missing, is kind of like, retail fundamentals, right? Like, so if you got 45 codes, right, that you sell as a vendor, do you know what your top 10 are supposed to be at all times, right? So if you only have like, so if I went in, like when I went to call on Kenny, or if I had to call on you and you said, I don't give a fuck that you got 45 codes, I'm going to give you 8 slots. So tell me what they are right now and I'll list them. Like you should be able to, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like they should come out right away, right? But
Absolutely.
But that's missing in a lot of places. And I feel like what you're talking about is the flip side of that, right? Is like, if you're a store, these are like the 4 key fundamentals you must hit. Like otherwise,
well, stay in the same topic. What
right?
should be on the end if you're a store?
Yeah.
What should be on the end? Either the latest and greatest, right? And not this mumbo jumbo 500 SKUs on an end. That's called an aisle, not an end. So you keep it tight. Seriously, don't get me started on that one. That's a whole different topic. I hate displays.
We
with more
have too
than
much
2
stuff. I think there's way too much stuff as it is.
100%. They have no
Yeah.
concept of what an end. An end's supposed to grab your attention. You're supposed to go, holy shit, I need to
Yep.
stop. Right?
Yeah.
So it's that idea. Or what else? If you don't put that on your end, you put your best movers.
Absolutely.
So if you don't know what those are, like, what are you doing in the morning when you unlock the door? Like, do you just
or you
sweep?
put the products that you want to promote, that you want to
Either
make
way,
the best.
cool and new, whatever you think that is,
Yep.
or
you
your
know,
best sellers, or maybe your best margin, but they
Mhm.
can't be slow movers because you're
Nope.
wasting ends.
Absolutely.
Need some
you can't.
velocity.
No, and in pet anyway, but in every retail, even if they're new, you have to be able to talk about it. You have to talk about why it matters, why it should sell.
Unless it's an
And-
easy peasy.
It should be easy. Hang on
It
one
should.
second. I have a cat that's causing problems. knocking computers over.
We're used to this. You met
If it's not cats, it's kids. So.
you met Kelly Ison.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
I love Kelly.
Kelly's amazing, but when we were
The dog
on,
took over the show.
Abby, her Westie, just
know.
would not leave the screen, right? So
No.
she had taken over the show. So yeah, we're used to this.
I
Used
love
to it.
Kelly.
Yeah. She's amazing.
You know, first time we met was at Global this past year. We had never met.
I was so excited. I was so excited to see the picture of I was so jealous I wasn't there.
It's okay. You'll make it to Super Zoo now.
I don't know, actually. No, I don't know. I don't know if I don't have any plans to go to Super Zoo. I used to speak at Super Zoo, but I haven't in a few years now.
I don't know. The pet industry is kind
yeah.
of, but retail is still retail. So
Yeah.
those ends
back to the ends.
need to have the right stuff on it, and you need to be able to talk about it. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
And you know what's really important is the brands that show up. They should know what their best is, and they be able to communicate that with you. And a lot of brands don't communicate, and they don't train. They really don't do any training. Now, what I'm doing, what I'm doing is making sure that these retailers understand the brands out there that are going to impact their customers' pets' health in a positive way. And I connect all the dots for all the brands that will fit that mold. So I'm bringing brands to them that they're not even familiar with. And I'm thinking these are international, these are brands that are all over the US. And half these retailers don't even know it.
But that's
It
scary.
amazes the hell out of me.
That's scary.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
like, are you in your industry or not? Because that means you really don't leave your store, which is really worrisome on its own right. Because how do you know what's going on in the world if you don't leave your store?
Well, they're kind of stuck in just handling the day to day.
Again, that's
And
where that's why they
learning-
don't train well. It's
and-
all the same reasons, right? Because
Yep.
they're just jack of all trades and they get lost in the
I
stuff
think
that's
it's-
important, but not
No, I
the
think
critical.
it's complacency. It's
be.
becoming
Could be.
complacent, and then they complain that no one's buying and no one's shopping at their stores. Well, guess why? You
Take a
haven't
look.
diversified your
Yeah.
product. You haven't trained your staff. Sales are down. Petco's opening up down the block because they know that you can't handle it, so they can open up and give better customer experience and lower prices than you. So, should I get off the pot? Wake
Well,
up.
That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, retail. And then there are other people that are there. I know some that are doing it amazingly, and I get hired by the ones that aren't.
But that's typically the ones that need the help. The ones that are doing amazing. I mean, unless they just want to get patted on the back, you're trying to help the ones who aren't to get them to be amazing.
Yeah.
If
And
they
it
want
takes
to, if
work.
they can.
If they want to.
If they want to.
They have to choose to get it. I think on the surface, a lot of these businesses want to, but they don't want to do the work.
Well, I think sometimes it's easier to complain. Like you hear it a lot, like whether it's the pet industry or the natural health industry, because
Natural health
both
is
have been
definitely the same.
both have been impacted dramatically by club and mass, right?
Totally.
So they've gotten the shit kicked out of them because the big guys come in with price, and then all they focus on is that. And you're telling them, I know, but just remember, if you walk into like walk into Costco, have you ever gotten help in Costco? Seriously, in the tire center, customer service, returns, wonderful, fantastic, bang bang.
Costco's
Find someone on the floor.
The sample lady who give you samples at the end. They're
You can have a
enormously
whole
helpful.
meal. You
you
can
can
have a whole
eat.
meal with samples.
I'm not convinced they can tell you much about what they're serving most times.
No, not really.
Better
They
than
kind
other
of point to the
places.
box, actually.
Exactly. So I don't know what did for that, but you can't find help. If you go into a small establishment, whether it's natural health or pet, that's what their game should be. Again, price is only important when you give me nothing else.
Yep.
Right? Give me nothing else. Like give me a shitty end.
No, it's got to be
poor
experiential.
communication.
Like why
and no help,
bother being in
price.
retail today if you're not going to be experiential?
It's easy.
Honestly, because there's no math that allows you to compete with Amazon or Walmart or
You can't.
Dollar
Nope.
Store.
You
Between
can't.
Dollar Store, Walmart, Amazon,
You're
if
done.
you are in it for the price, you should fold up and go home now.
Right.
It's just not a thing, right? You're not going to win that battle. So the only reason that you're in the game is because you actually love retail and you love dealing with people. right? Like
Right.
you want them to learn something. Like some of the best stores are people who want them to learn something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like look at what like Nike's probably gone too far, but Nike has done exactly that, right? As Nike has said, like I'm cutting out all the middle guys, right? Like cuz if you're
Mhm.
just going to throw my shoe from 3 years ago into your lineup, I don't want that. Like
But
I
why is that
actually
too
want
far?
people
Think
well
about
no
it
no
from
no
Nike's
no.
perspective, right?
But at
Why
some
would
They went too
point
far? I don't think so.
I
I
don't think
not
so
yet,
either.
but I think they're going to because they don't think they're done yet. So they've cut out something like 100, 150 retailers. Like at some point, because every D2C company, they hit 100 million and then they have to go to bricks and mortar, right? Because they just
But
don't
Nike
have the
has bricks and
size.
mortar.
They do, but they are not gonna. I don't think they're gonna be. I think they need other people. Like Foot Locker alone is not going to be able to carry them. Do you know what I mean? Like I think
Totally
they're
not.
gonna
Yeah.
need more.
Well, maybe they just need
But
two or three guys
yeah,
that are
yeah, I
national,
think
like
so.
other
And maybe
nationals.
they would make, if they would make better shoes, they, they wouldn't need all the other crap.
They've got the
Their
world
shoes
convinced
really
that
suck.
yeah, they've got the world convinced that they've got very technical shoes, right? Like,
Put them
that's
next
part of the
to,
game, right? Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely a game. Just
Yeah.
like food, natural
Yeah,
health,
yeah, yeah.
convincing everybody that yours is the one that's
The
going to do it all.
thing.
Yep.
It's the thing.
Yeah. My Nikes are not making me a better athlete. If I suck, I suck.
But you could be like Venus or Michael. You could. Maybe.
Because I wear
Because they
Nikes?
were Nikes.
Yes. Yes.
Can't argue that. It's
Try
been
not
proven.
to
Look
throw
at it.
up.
They're both
Try
great.
not to throw up.
They wore Nikes.
Thank you. You saw me gagging. Was I licking my lips like a vomiting dog?
They wear Nikes. Can't argue that. Gotta
They
be
wear
part of
Nikes
it.
my
because
God.
they have to, not because they want to.
Tazz, we missed you.
Well, with the amount of money they get paid, Taz, I think they want to. Very happily want to.
I would want to as well, actually. If
Yeah.
Nike, if they paid me, I'd be like, yeah, I'll wear them.
Shit.
I
man.
want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Mold them to my feet.
Oh, whatever you want, man. Yeah, I'll go. I'll sleep with them. I don't care.
Okay, I want to ask you, do you miss anything from your retailing days?
No, not at all. I mean, I just
You
finished.
must miss some of the customers that were regulars.
It's funny. I still get calls from them asking me questions. I'm like, I'm not answering your question. Schedule a consult.
I'm out now.
I did that enough for
Yeah,
17
yeah.
years. I'm
Yeah,
not asking
if you didn't learn anything in the 17, you got to pay me now.
Yeah,
That's the way this
different.
works now.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, the consults have just been on a huge uptick. So I
Right.
love that. I'm thrilled with that. And
That's awesome.
I don't miss the retail.
Mhm.
I miss the buying. I loved buying. I loved researching the research
get.
part, getting
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
brands, getting to know what's in there, asking questions. But I can, and then buying it, actually bringing it in and testing it out. But now where I am doing the education, I can call the companies and ask the same questions. And I don't have to buy it. I can ask them to send me product to check it out. So I'm using that to kind of
That's pretty
test
awesome.
things.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool, though,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it helps. I need to know what's what and what's out there. And going to the shows, the trade shows is just going to keep
Yeah.
me
You know
abreast
what's
of
funny
everything.
is if anybody ever asked me, I see you said it well to me. I miss the hunt. I miss the shows, and I miss the shows when you had a pen that would sign checks like a PO, right? Because it was so much fun to
There's a
buy.
thrill with that. There's a
It
thrill.
was
Yeah,
awesome. The
100%.
hunt
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like I could be stoked for days buying paper clips. Didn't matter what it was. I could have bought anything. I just loved buying. I loved looking for things and trying to figure out how was it going to work? How can we make money? How was it going
Yep.
to sell? Like how was it
Yeah.
going to look on the
Mhm.
shelf? What's
How am I going to merchandise this? How are we
All
going
of
to
it.
talk
Yeah.
about
I
it?
loved
Yeah.
it.
How am I going to connect the dots from this with this
so much
brand with
fun.
this? Yeah.
I really miss that part of it too. I really do. That's where like when Phil and I were talking, like some of the like just basic principles of knowing what your top SKUs are and why,
Mhm.
and then how do you execute that in store. And even as like, like we try to teach, because we're now on the vendor side for the most part, right? Is trying to teach the reps is, a good rep isn't one who goes and just gets new products on the shelf and just walks away is, tell me, like, come in and say, Tazz, listen, in this store, you carry this, this, and this. Really? Just so you know, in the marketplace, these two suck. They just
Right.
don't sell,
Mhm.
right? You're better off to carry a couple of mine and phone these 3 other guys and get their stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. That's what a good rep, good vendor should do is help me help you, but help me more than helping you.
When you say you're on the vendor side, I mean, are you working with distributors or
I work for
purely
2
with the actual
distributors and
brand?
I got my own brands.
Actual
Right? I've got a few of my own
brands.
brands. So I
Yeah.
got my own brands
Yeah.
and I also work for distributors, and our job is obviously to go in and help.
Yeah.
Help the store. I mean, that's what I try to teach these guys. Don't go
Totally.
in
You have to
looking
help
for a
the
PO.
stores.
If you don't forget the PO part, the PO will come. Go in
It's
and
that
be,
relationship and
Thank
making
you.
sure that they
go in as a consultant, like help them.
Mhm.
They'll
Yep.
love you to death.
Yeah,
They'll sign
and
POs
it's
all
not
day for
that
you.
hard. It's
It's
not
not-
that hard.
Well, it's only
But
hard
a
if you
lot
don't
of
want to
times
learn.
they do become resentful, because there's an emotional aspect that you're stepping on when you tell them,
Yep.
hey, forget these 2 brands, go tell these, get rid of this and bring this up. They feel like you're making them wrong. And there's a lot of business owners who would prefer to be right than rich. So
Well, there's a lot of people on this planet that right is where they want to be, which is why we have so many conflicts on this planet,
exactly.
right? You don't need to be
Exactly.
right. You just need
And
to
so
listen.
many failing businesses and so many people
Exactly.
whining and complaining about not making any money. Meanwhile, you have every opportunity if you got out of your own way.
Exactly.
But-
And if you just learn to listen a little bit,
Mm.
right? And again, but that's up to, that's what then if a vendor's not, or a rep's not able to do that, then you also need to look in the mirror and say, like we tell everybody at the time, the person in front of you is the one you're talking to.
Mhm.
So you need to adapt your style of discourse and converse to match them. So if they want to be right, let them be right. Just
Mhm.
guide them to where they need to be right.
Mhm.
Like, you don't have to hit them with a sledgehammer. Walk them.
But some actually,
Some don't get it anyway, Tazz.
Some
You're not
don't
going to
get
win
it
them.
because they
So at
just
that point,
think
though,
that-
you know what? Then whatever. If you go bankrupt, you got. I can't help you.
Yeah.
I tried. Sooner or later, you got to own some of this, right? It's not
Yeah.
my I don't care anymore. I'll help you
Yeah,
as far as I can help you. Well,
I just finished a contract that was that way, and I walked away. I was like, you just don't want to.
I think
It's-
we all have walked
move
away. We're
on.
thinking, okay, obviously, you know what? You know more than I do.
Mhm.
I'm trying to teach you or help you. If you don't want to take it, then do your own thing. I'm not
Yeah.
interested in money. I don't want to work with you. I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah,
Phil's
Well,
happy,
Exactly.
well, I'm
right?
also not. I'm not. There's some hubris, or it feels like hubris sometimes, but I know better, right? I've been there, done that, and like
That's why I'm trying to tell you
don't-
that, right?
But you
Listen.
don't. If you don't want to listen, that's cool. It's your company, right? We actually say that a lot. I think is it's your company. You do what you think is right? But you hired me because you hired me
because you thought I knew more than something
yeah,
that you
because
might
I'm
not have known.
able to help you, with something here, right? So
Yeah, a lot of times I think,
yeah,
Phil, it's that change is really painful,
yeah,
and a lot of and also employees. A lot of employees will get in the way of that change.
Yeah.
Especially if they've been there, if they've been at locations for a long time,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
will muddy the waters. So, and unfortunately, a lot of retailers kind of live in fear instead of
Mhm.
curiosity.
Mhm.
And that's where everything can go into the shitter, when they're constantly afraid of what if I do this and things change, is it going to change for the worse? They don't think about, well, I've been doing it this way for all this time anyway. Things are not good. Why wouldn't it
How much
get
worse
better?
could they get?
I mean, exactly. And
Right.
it can get worse. You're
Exactly.
here and you've hired this person because you're afraid of things going worse. But
Right.
now that the change is coming, you don't want to go. You don't want to make that change because you're afraid of change.
But that's
wanna-
our roles,
yeah.
right? Is to walk you through that.
Yeah.
Come on, get the balls to the walls and let's move on. I'm getting sick of that.
What so do
Yeah.
you work the retailers that you work with? Do you only work with like pet retailers?
Is
Do you
it
kind of
mostly
work
pet, or
with?
are you doing other things?
Yeah.
You
No,
said
I want to
food.
expand into other things. I want natural health, and food is really where
Food's
I
awesome.
want to go to. I love food.
Food is so much fun.
Love food. So that's where I want to go to from here.
So if you're a retailer that listens to us, We're putting Tazz's links down below because
Yeah,
no,
for
I'm
sure.
not joking, right? Because I
For
think
sure.
I think in the same way that we talk about retail fundamentals, this is one of those things, right? Like, you know, like even this idea of what happens, like if you want to know what retail's supposed to be like, invite Tazz into your store and let her walk the store with you. Have some thick skin, but somewhere between ripping you a new one, she's gonna like.
I'm actually super kind.
It's not, it's not
I give
personal
it
either,
time.
though, right?
Yeah, no, I give
Yeah.
it time. I'm talking this way with you
Yeah,
guys because I know you for so many
yeah,
years,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I am super tolerant and kind. I wait. I take time. I listen because
No,
a lot
but-
of people, it's
Yeah.
really interesting when a retailer doesn't know what they keep saying they're profitable. And I say, well, you don't know what your losses are. So how do you know what your profits are? Yeah,
What?
Oh my
There's
God, I
not
swear, I
two
just
sides
worked
of that coin. What are you talking
So
about?
you can be
Like,
profitable and show a
what?
loss?
No, come on. Who
I've been
loses
crushing
anything?
it
Like
then,
what?
eh? Crushing it.
La 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 la
La, 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 la. I love that.
Oh my
So,
god.
Yeah, walk through the store, have some thick
Yeah.
skin, definitely.
But catch the pop, right? Because
Totally.
like all retail people, this is what we do for a living, right? And it's not just what we do, but we actually love it. Like I go into stores where I know fuck all about the product, right? But
Doesn't mean anything.
like you can
Still know how it
see
looks.
like my wife, she knows when to walk away because she can see my brain going,
Yeah.
why? Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, and she's like, "Oh no, we're gonna be here all day. I'll be over there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go get a coffee. I'm gonna go sit down. Maybe I'll have a croissant when you're done doing whatever, making friends and like taking shelves apart, and then you come back and find me, right? Like, but that's what happens, right? So
It does.
it is.
Mine's usually I'll look and think, what the? And she's going, oh my God, he's starting. Because it's the first thing thinking, like you really need to look and you're thinking. Like on a
my
good day,
next
I don't know how you
husband will
got there.
understand that about me. My
Yeah.
next husband, my first one didn't.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah,
I
you
love
look and
it
think,
so
I don't know
much.
how you got there. Like I'm trying to understand your logic on this particular move. And it's just, I'm missing it.
No, those puzzles are the
And then I
best, right? The
mumble
one where
and-
you're going,
Ah,
I'm pretty sure this guy does know what he's doing, but now I want to just see if he sees something I don't. And then the ones where you're like,
Oh,
wait,
I love those.
right? And then the ones where you're like, I don't understand this category. Let's just 5 minutes. Let's see if we can figure this one out. Like, I
You
get
gotta
it now.
Give me an example of
like-
what category. There's a health food store by my house that saved my ass during COVID when everything got
Yeah.
shut down in New York. And every time I'd walk in there, I would just think, God, I just want to move this shelf here. I want to move these here. I want to move the supplements away from the food. I want to readjust. These should be in alphabetical order. And as I walk through, and then their freezers, as I'm getting stuff out of their freezers, I'm adjusting
yeah.
everything. I'm moving the vegan butter with the vegan cheese instead of with the regular. So I'm adjusting everything, and these frigging cats. And it's just and I still do it. And they look at me like, Tazz, please stop touching our shelves. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I can't.
I
can't
can't
help
help
it.
it. It's
Can't.
built
It's
in.
such a
Yeah.
fucking mess. It drives me
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Well, because it doesn't make any sense, right?
No, and I
Yeah.
can increase their sales by easily 75, 80% if I modify the layout. just
Phil-
that alone.
Phil and I walked a couple in Vancouver, and we walked through a few things. And I can't remember if you stopped and were perplexed, and I asked you, or vice versa. But it was one of
Oh
those
my
ones.
God.
I remember
There
looking
was-
at. I can still see this one set. It was by a pole, like, and on the right side was. And I just looked at this category, and I thought, hey, on the best day of the year, in a city of 400 million people, let's say, if you have 400 million people in this
Yes.
city, you're over skewed by about 80 of the 120 SKUs here. Even 400 million people would not need this variety.
Oh my God.
It's a city of 600,000.
Oh my God.
Hey, so I
thought,
remember,
I
remember
they said yes
because-
to everybody.
it's like Kenny
Everybody.
maths faster than me, right? So I remember because I was standing in front of the set, and I literally, like, I'm like, what? 1, 2,
I
3, 4,
couldn't
5,
understand
6,
it.
7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 deep. It was just, what?
I'm
And
sorry,
he was
Phil,
like,
I feel it's 2 inches by 48 inches,
Uh-huh.
24. There's 7 shelves. Let's go. It's it's too much.
like there's smoke coming out of my ears, right? Because I just
168 pieces.
like I
I
don't
didn't
math
understand it.
fast, but like my brain says, nah, like you. What? Kenny was
But-
like, "You right?
but we went
let's go."
both ways,
You know?
'cause I couldn't
You're right.
understand
Let's
it
go.
as-
You know, this is like
As a consumer, I couldn't understand it. As a
No.
buyer, I couldn't understand. So I'm thinking, listen, there's no way you guys can sell this, and there's no way for me to buy this.
yeah,
But
Like,
Kenny,
this is
you
such a
just
shit
hit it
show.
on the head. As a consumer, you didn't understand
I
it.
understand it.
The whole point of merchandising,
it's for
getting
a
retail
consumer.
set up, is
Hello.
to get the
Yeah.
consumers to connect with the product.
Yeah.
And if you overpopulate their brains, which are already overpopulated with so much media from their
You got 10
phones,
seconds, or
you
whatever the number is.
it's
That's
a
it.
nanosecond. You don't have enough time.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the communication from staff and visually you haven't set it up, you're screwing yourself.
Well, the
Yeah.
only thing to save these people's ass was the one line you there. They had staff.
Ah.
So they did. But see, to me, it's already too late. When I get my look on my face that I'm thinking, like because I'm pretty, it's on my sleeve. I don't hide shit
But,
from
but
anybody.
you're not normal.
I don't get it. No, I have never been normal
Okay.
on
I
on any.
No,
angle.
but
I look
on
at it,
a-
you're right.
okay,
I
wait,
don't get it.
I'm gonna
But-
wipe
but
a
are
whole
you
bunch of
looking at
things
it as
off
a
the board.
consumer?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to. I do
You-
two
you-
ways. I've got
yeah.
a buyer hat on. So like most times I'll look at consumer first because I'm dying to see, okay, what would I do? I don't
Mhm.
understand this. Then I put the buyer hat on. So, okay, what was I trying to do here? I don't understand that either. So there's more times I'm thinking, okay, I didn't get it as a consumer nor a buyer. So if I didn't get it either side, and I've been doing this way too long, I'm not the brightest person on the planet, but I didn't get it.
Mhm.
So and now, unless you've got the only thing left for you as a retailer, you better have somebody 3 seconds behind that says, you look confused. Can I help you?
Right. Exactly.
No problem. Now I'd say, okay, that's going to save your ass because your first 2 steps did not do anything for you. I just walk. I don't need the confusion. I'm not, first off, I'm not that bright. I'm not that interested. Make it simple for me. I
So
just tell me what, when you do that, you know what you're telling me? It's all the same shit. Don't worry about it because I bought everything. You can buy anything. Whereas if you go to like a Costco, what does Costco tell you? I want another peanut butter. You don't need it. That's the best one. That's why we have
This is
it.
the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't over.
Now, it doesn't have to be because it's
Yeah.
not in Costco.
Well, I'll give you a choice,
all big
right? I'll give you
bullshit brands,
the
but that's different.
Kirkland and the best one. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best selling, not necessarily the best,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
again,
Yeah, yeah,
that's, but as a
Yeah.
And if you
consumer,
want
you're
something
happy
else, you can go to a Whole Foods. If there's
Anywhere you
something
want.
specific, go to Whole
anywhere you
Foods.
want. But if
Go
you want
somewhere
it easy
else.
peasy,
Yeah.
Go to
make your day
Sprouts.
fast, in and out.
So I'm
Mhm.
not allowed to make comments at my local grocery anymore. Because I do that, right? I go in there like, fuck, right? And then my
Yeah.
gauge is when I can't find it, right? Because, like, if I can't find it, it means you didn't put it in the right spot. I don't care, right? Like, because, like, and
But-
so,
Yeah.
like,
I gotta ask you, have you noticed in the big box stores that they're kind of going off of the traditional planograms
They
and
have to.
but they're not doing it well.
The supply chain issues, a lot of that's driven by, just so you know.
Is it supply
Yeah.
chain? Okay, because
It's
I
not- it's
walked
not them.
into
No,
a
no, no.
Target just because I wanted to look, and there is women's underwear and exercise clothes right by the food, and I just couldn't connect the dots.
You know what it
I'm
is? Because they're out of products in one area, overloaded in another, and now they're just kind of trying to fill holes. Still
Well,
not logical.
yeah.
Like that's
But
not,
you can do
that's
better.
nonsensical.
There's
There's other things you could have
There-
put there.
Absolutely.
You're
It's
better off
it's
to
kind
put
of like,
Tide, like
no,
put
but it's
household with
it's like a
household.
compounded problem, right? Because you,
Yeah.
like,
got
so
everything
so
going on.
Walmart's had this problem for years and years and years. Is Walmart could never keep part-time staff, right? So
Mhm.
like their
Yeah.
full-timers were great. So Monday to Friday, Walmart looked great, and then Saturday
look
and
like
Sunday, like, it looked upside down, right? Because they could never keep part-timers. Part-time
But all
could
your regular
never
stuff,
figure
all
out
the
what
normal
anything
people
is.
are gone.
And now Target is having the same problem because resourcing. So you think first you're short product, and second you've got these
No people.
part-timers who have no idea what they're doing,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Are getting instructions from management who doesn't know what they're doing and can't actually fill product, and it starts translating itself into
Yeah.
fill every section of the shelf. Doesn't matter what. Just
Doesn't matter what.
just
Yeah.
fill
we have a
it,
supply
and
chain
people
issue
will
with
buy
people.
it.
You know that
Like
there's no people.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are finding in
Yeah.
the States. I know the States is having trouble too. Is that there's nobody I don't know where everybody went.
They
There was a
reskilled.
lot of people
They
in.
all left.
Okay, I don't know how much reskilling everybody did in 2 years. I mean, unless they're all podcasting. Because I mean, seriously.
Well, no,
Well, I
but
think
but
everyone
your
has
daughter
little
did
side
it.
hustles.
Like
Everyone
your
has side
daughter,
hustles.
yeah, your daughter
daughter's
left service
pivoted into a
and
different
went
industry,
and
but
became a welder.
Yeah, that's a different pivot. That's
That's
a
huge,
hardcore
man.
shift.
So how many
Major
people did
pivot.
that? Yeah. So it like service industry sucks,
my son never
right? Like
entered, so
it's
my
the
son
one
does
that
computer stuff,
everyone
right.
leaves, right? As soon as you can, right? So
What was always it was
Yeah.
our age group entry level was what? Retail and restaurants.
Yeah.
That's where you start. That was
Yep.
it.
yeah.
And it was awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because
Well, it taught you about community and service and
fantastic.
being
Loved it.
and giving back.
absolutely
Absolutely.
wicked.
Yeah.
And now they've
Taught you
all
how to
lost that.
smile through anything. Yes, sir, I can get that for you. You got it. Oh, yes.
Yes, you haven't yelled at me enough yet. Can you please yell at me more?
And when you needed that break,
Yeah.
everybody back there in the
Yeah.
back in the restaurant supported you, and
Yeah.
you had support. But you had your support because everyone had been there.
Yeah.
All the employees, you worked
Yeah.
together.
See, now what
That
do? They last
camaraderie
a
was
week and they
key.
quit.
Yeah.
Well,
But now they
now
won't do it.
everyone wants to stab each other in the back or lie about each other.
Or they all want to
as
run the
opposed to-
restaurant.
But
or the
you know what
store.
it is, Kenny? It's about leadership. If the
100%. All of
if
it
the leadership, the management is not set up to succeed,
falls
the
apart.
rest it's all going to fall by the
All far
wayside.
apart. And you know
And
what? You can see it.
Yep. And with small retailers, especially on the pet side, it all starts with the pet with the business owners. I don't care
I
if they
totally
have
agree with
3
you.
stores or 10.
I totally
It's-
agree with you.
yeah.
As soon as you walk in the store, you can tell. You can tell. You just
Yeah.
and unfortunately these days, it seems the more stores I go into, the more I think, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, wow is pretty much like my constant wow.
Yep. I mean, Phil, you know Wolfgang. They
Yep.
have a standard set up with the way each store is done. There's a visual, there is merchandising, they have products that they bring in that are specific to the area, but specific to Wolfgang. And Paul is, literally on top of it and very communicative. You like my sirens?
I do.
Anything in here. Yeah.
I do like it in the background, actually.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
It's on every episode of my podcast. You have to get.
Aw.
Oh,
Well, that was
that's
wicked.
the fire engines.
That's
actually,
hardcore.
Yeah.
this is fire engines.
Yeah.
It's not the police. What I live with.
They sound like they're stopping at your building. Are you okay
But
there?
they're
Or,
passing.
no?
Are you on a main drag? Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
I'm on a main
Okay.
drag.
Couldn't
I'm on
think
a
of it like that.
major street in New
Holy
York City.
shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of I mean, I'd just be at the window. Like if you get bored, you don't want to watch TV, just get a cup of cocoa and sit at the window, watch outside.
Well, I can go on my terrace. I could look at the Empire State Building
Oh my god,
and
that's so cool.
see the
It's amazing.
see the craziness. Yeah,
Wow.
it's nice.
I miss New York.
Hey,
I love
how's
New
the podcast going?
It's going good. I'm getting
Yeah.
a lot
You've
more
got
listeners.
some great guests.
Got some good guests on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
some
like
good
it.
ones. Yeah,
You liking it?
yeah, it's I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it because I'm learning, and that's what I love. I love learning from these people. I'm building a lot of wonderful relationships that are just kind of
It's cool
helping
though,
with-
isn't it?
helping with my career as well, which I didn't
Yeah.
even expect. It wasn't
Yeah.
that was never the intention. The intention was just, let me learn, and when COVID hit, I don't know if I told you, I went back to school for UX UI. I did
Yeah, you were
9 months
thinking about it, but I
did
didn't
it.
know. Okay.
I went to Columbia and did
Wow.
Wow, good for you.
a 9-month boot camp in UX UI because I really wanted to understand how things were seen by brands, by product makers. I really wanted
Yeah.
them to understand that perspective so I could be better at what I do. And man, did it impact me. Holy
Okay.
cow. And everything
That's
I'm
so
doing,
cool.
visuals with stores when I'm working and with all my consulting and with this bioresonance company, it's all come together.
Wow.
It's been
Good for
huge.
you.
So yeah.
I
Good for
like
you.
the raw pet food formulation and safety. I know that's not like as super, but it actually was really interesting for me. I probably listened to it. I've listened to the whole thing twice.
Okay.
and there were parts in there that I some of it I was like, what? 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 So I had to rewind bits of it, but it was good. I really liked it. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, David. I contacted this guy, David Primrose, who's a food safety expert. I just call people. I'm like, hey, I need to learn something about pet food safety. Can you teach me? And he was very open. I'm so grateful. I'm so
Nice that
grateful.
is though, right? That's why it's kind of cool. This podcasting thing is pretty neat for that, right?
Yeah, you have to be outgoing. You have to be outgoing. Yeah, that's.
But it is kind of cool though.
But you need to be curious too, right? Like I think
Well,
that's part of this whole thing, right?
I think we've learned more.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I knew quite a bit about retail and things because I've been in it so long.
Yeah.
And then you do listen to all these cool stories,
My
and
God,
there's people
like,
thinking, I would have never gone down that angle. Like I never would have even thought of that. That's really cool. What a great way to try something or do something.
Yep.
Or they're telling you how they did either their market research, and you're thinking, wow, that's usually like on the third attempt at trying to do a brand that you would do that, not the first.
Do you guys get a lot of people calling on you, trying to sell you, like get you to introduce them to brands? And
yes,
that's something that I'm really uncomfortable with doing.
It's really gross, actually. We've actually had people spam our lists as well, which is really.
Well, whatever. I mean, I guess that's what they're doing.
No, not whatever.
I mean,
that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah,
agreed.
I think it's stupid, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? This is what this whole world is now, right? It's like in LinkedIn. How many stupid things people, I can see you're in a business similar to mine. How do you find the pet industry? I'm thinking, the fuck did you find pet in anything that I said? Right? Or you must be hiring.
No,
I'm
you
a sole proprietor.
You presented a global pet.
You
presented a global pet. That makes you.
The last 2 weeks, I've been getting so many of those. I'm thinking, we're in a very similar industry, and I'm looking. You're in IT, man. Like I don't know shit about that.
What that really is that's me just making him crazy.
Is it you?
No.
But I do. I get that all day, and I'm thinking, I don't understand why you're bugging me.
No, it's frustrating. I get requests for meetings and. A lot of brands. It's like I'm not going to.
I do know a lot of brands. I know tons of brands. Why would I give you my contact?
Yeah.
But I'm like in
but
every
then they want
way.
to give you a little spiff or something. They want to give you something. I'm like, that $5 isn't worth it. I don't care if it's $1,000. It's not worth it. I have no relationship.
But you're a true influencer, right? So you're a true influencer in every. You know what I mean? Like you're an expert in your field, and you're a true influencer. So if you think for a second, you can buy my list for a spiff, like.
Oh man, this got to be one hell of a.
Just go wait over there.
I know.
Someday I might call you.
Hawaiian wow.
Well, or you know what? Full on retirement. Like we're talking $1 million. Sure, that's a spiff. $500 so you can go aggravate someone I know. No.
No way.
Please,
I would never do that. I would be pissed if someone did that to me.
I'd be super angry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's what I always go back to people with. I'm like, would you like it if I did that to you and you were them? Well, this is how I make my money. Well,
I don't give a shit how you make your money.
Get out of business.
But the flip side is we're super generous at connecting people that we think
but that's different.
Will drive value. It's funny actually, because one of our holiday get-togethers, one of our podcast guests said to us, "Oh, you threw everybody on the same email list. This is super valuable." And we said, they were like, "Oh, this is something you can monetize." And both of us went, no. Like you're on this list because you bring value. And so you're being introduced to other people who bring value.
Exactly.
That's the only value that derives from this, right? Because the community is everything, right? So we totally value the community because that's how we grow, right? Like forget all this other bullshit, right? The spammy bullshit is
right. I connect people same as you, the two of you. Why? Yeah. Because these two people should know each other.
Yeah. Yep.
Because mutually they'd be this would be a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So even if the business doesn't happen, they're probably going to get along because they're very similar people.
Yeah.
And because we all like each other, then if someone said Tazz recommend, okay, I'll take the call in a heartbeat.
Right.
I like her. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So send it on. I'm totally good with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why not? That's what this whole game's about. I mean, it's about trying to help people. It's about trying to get if
Yeah.
I know something and I can
Yeah.
share with you and you can do better.
It just can't be
Go.
ugly and underhanded.
No.
No, the
that
serious part's gotta
agenda,
go.
that part's why. That's
It's
why I
gotta
asked. I
go.
was like,
nah,
you know,
that's
don't
gotta
offer
go.
me
Yeah,
as a-
that's
no.
gross.
No.
We get
No,
it, but it's gross.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think see, but I can't think of, I don't think anybody on our list would do that because they would all know the reason you're on the list is because you don't do that.
Right.
And if you start doing that, then you're going to get off the list. 'Cause I ain't going to help you anymore. I don't like that. Yeah, that shit and that quid pro quo and all the other crap that goes with it. I do things because I want to help you, and that's it.
You
Piss
guys
off.
are funny. You're hysterical.
We should be in New York. We could be New Yorkers.
Sometimes I wonder if you are. I mean, I wonder if you are, Kenny. Sometimes
I
I
love
listen
New
to Europe. I'm like, is he
Oh,
from
I love
Europe?
that city. That city, I feel like as soon as I get there, I feel like I'm plugged into the wall.
You are
Like, I
plugged
just
into the wall.
love it in that city. Like,
You're getting zapped up the ass.
oh, I get so excited just thinking about going to New York. I just love that city.
When are you guys coming back?
I
Let's
don't
go to
know.
dinner. Oh, so
I
many
don't
great
know. I love it.
restaurants here. But wait, there's so many good restaurants in Toronto.
Mhm.
Toronto's okay. Vancouver's we got tons here too.
Oh,
So it's
you
not-
guys do.
You know
All,
what it
all
is? It's
three of
not
us
that,
live in
though.
like great food
Great
cities.
places.
Like we're
It's
It's
super
not-
blessed
it's-
that way.
But it's the foods in all
Yeah.
three cities is great. The difference is like this city here, it's tough to beat the scenery. Like Vancouver is
Yeah,
pretty
I know.
spectacular.
It is.
Mountains, the
I like
ocean
going
is
to
crazy.
Toronto because see, to me, Toronto's just a cleaner New York. It's
Yeah.
it's gotten that vibe. Toronto's really grown up. It's got a lot of New York vibe, but it's still Canada. It doesn't feel. But when you go to New York, man, you are just plugged
New
in.
York is New York. It's amazing.
It's like Hong
The
Kong.
buzz
It's
is
like to me,
just-
it's like you can't describe.
All
When
the
was
New
the
York
last
is
time
like
you were
a-
here?
I was in New York. It's funny. Amelia and I took the kids in
pre-pandemic for me.
It
Pre-pandemic.
would have,
So
I think
probably
2019 for us.
I
Was that when we
last
had
time I
dinner?
was there when we had dinner. Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
See,
yeah.
mine's 2019, so 3
Yeah,
years.
like
this
what is
fall-
that?
3 years this
2.5,
fall.
3 years ago. I
3 years
think.
this fall for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the kids loved it. I mean, kids are 20 at that point. They were 20,
They're adults.
22, 23, whatever the hell they were. But they loved it too, and then they understood. Okay, that's why Dad gets all hyperactive when Dad gets hyperactive on most things, but gets extra hyperactive when he
so
talks
I-
about New York.
I took the last time I was there with the kids was 4 years ago, and I took them through Central Park, like all of Central Park, not just the little bits, right? Like, and at the time, my wife was like, "Why are we doing this? It's the middle of summer. It's super hot." My in-laws were like, "That's dumb," and I was like, "Don't come." Right?
Central Park's pretty
and-
cool though.
Oh no, it's
Awesome.
awesome,
It's
right?
awesome.
Like
Central Park's
fabulous.
pretty
you
cool.
get all the way because you gotta make it all the way to the fountain. You gotta like walk to the fountain. You gotta get to all of the. You gotta get to underground where they all sing and they do the, like, and then
Where they
and
roller skate.
yeah,
and you
right,
get
like
everyone
all
dressed
of it,
in
right?
multiple-
Like, and
where
then
can
once you
see,
do
remember
that,
remember that movie? Remember
but
that
that's
movie?
the thing
Remember that
is,
movie?
right? So as soon as we did that, the kids are
Exactly.
like, this place and
Mhm.
that place
That's where
and
Elf
the
was playing the
and the
snowballs.
swans and the like, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, and now you see things. Oh, we know that where that is, right? And then
Yep.
it's amazing.
Especially that city, because that city is
Yes.
so many movies
Yes.
and
So
so
many.
many things. Like you
Yeah.
just
Oh,
think,
maybe I don't
man.
appreciate it enough. Actually, that's
Well, because you're there,
because I see it all the
Yeah,
time.
but you're
right?
there.
But like when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see, like even now, like
Yeah.
we'll watch TV and I'm thinking, oh fuck, look at that. Do you remember that, Amelia? Oh, you remember that? You
Yeah.
remember that restaurant? I don't think it's called
Yeah.
that though, but I think it's that one. I love it.
Did you see that building the Hulk just jumped through? We were there last
there.
time, like.
Such a great city.
It's amazing.
Such a great city.
Oh my god. So what's next
Oh.
for you guys? My by the way, my favorite podcaster, the person who makes Beautiful Anarchy is from Vancouver. Have you ever heard of Beautiful Anarchy?
No,
Oh
no.
my god.
Looking
He
it
hasn't
up
done
now.
Look it up. It's a Beautiful Anarchy. He's a photographer. It's brilliant.
Oh.
You know who introduced me to this? Chris Roy. Chris actually
way.
introduced me. Yeah, Chris introduced me to
Beautiful
the
anarchist,
Anarchy.
anarchy.
Anarchy. Not
No way.
anarchist.
This is so
How do you spell
cool.
anarchy?
ANARCHY. Really?
Shut up. I get in there.
David
Anarchy.
Duchemin.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
It's
so
on
awesome.
the list.
You should listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
A beautiful
Okay.
anarchy. Well, it's got a cool
Yeah.
logo too.
That's really cool.
It's one of his photographs, but it's
Oh,
about
they're nice. They're short too.
yeah, and
I like
that too.
everything impacts. It just shows how one thing, the way you think can impact everything that happens in your life. And it's hysterical, comical, sweet, and it's one of my favorite podcasts ever.
Okay. I'm kind of in need of exactly that, because I think I
this is what I
have
need to. I got too many that are the same.
I've got like lots that I listen to that, are factual or smart. I've got to listen, I've just got a handful of podcasts that are like,
No, this is
challenge you a little, but
person's-
then like set
No,
you
no.
loose and you can have some fun with it, right? So
This
You have a
is a
webpage too?
thinking person's. Yeah, it does. It's a thinking person's podcast.
I like it.
It's fabulous.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of liking this too.
Okay.
Shit,
bring
really?
it
This is
on,
a
bring it
Vancouver thing.
he's Vancouver, all Vancouver. Yeah,
That is a beautiful picture, by the way.
isn't it?
That's pretty spectacular.
And he's a gorgeous photographer.
I love it.
Oh,
I
I'm
love
liking
it.
this one. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
liking
you.
this one.
It's not the typical.
That's okay.
No,
Non-typical is good.
non-typical is great. It's
Wow.
perfect. It's perfect.
Okay, we're all over
Um,
this one.
We're
All right.
kind of at the hour. So if retailers want to find you, do they go to your website?
Yep, metropolis.com and
Okay.
send me an email and tell me what you're looking for.
Or for a
and
small
we can-
spiff, you can come through Phil and I. Do that one. That's, see that why not, right?
If somebody wants to give you a spiff and you recommend me, we can do that too.
No, I know
Whatever.
spiff or recommend you. That's so stupid. What are you talking about?
I'm coming out there. I got to get out of New York. I got to get away from the
You
sirens.
do.
I
Come.
do. I want to go to Vancouver.
Toronto
actually.
or Van, whatever you want to
I
do.
love both. I
Come to
love
Vancouver.
both.
Just Phil can come
And,
too.
and listen, like when I solve this funding formula and we start shooting videos, you're one of the
Mhm.
first.
Oh, we're going
like,
to New
so
York
you
then.
think what?
Oh yeah, we're going to New York.
Okay,
baby.
so
Yeah.
so serious question for the two of you.
Yeah.
If I could shoot a video of you in a retailer, do you have one in mind? Like one that you'd really want to see, or one you like kind of just like either a favorite retailer you love to hate, or because we all have those, right?
Well, it has. What size are we looking? Is it any type
I don't
of
think it
retailer?
matters.
Small
Yeah,
business.
I don't think it matters.
I want to go into every small business, like
Yeah,
and fix it for them
I'm more
because
keen
I
on
want
doing
them
that
to grow.
too.
yeah.
I would rather walk through the village and look at all the cool little, whether they're
Yeah.
clothing shops or food shops
Hmm.
or restaurants, even like
Yeah.
I like those. You know why? Because to me, those are like us. Those are like our people, like normal people.
Yeah, totally.
Every day,
I'm
they're
with you.
just, you know what? They're doing their shit, getting stuff done.
We should
I'd
do
rather
like
do
a day
those.
of shooting in the city.
Yeah, like helping
I-
Apple, I couldn't care less.
no.
I mean, I
No,
can
I
go
could
eat,
give a
I can go
fuck.
to Italy if you want, but I'm just going to pick the thing apart because I think it's a joke. I know people get excited, they love it, but I couldn't give two shits about places like that.
No. There's so many small businesses
I
all
love
over New York
those.
City that could use guidance, and
Right.
or we could just have fun
Or just
breaking
have
down.
fun,
Nice.
right?
Breaking down and adjusting. But you walk through,
I love
like
those.
Kenny said, the village. Absolutely.
That's where I love that. Just
Anything
'cause-
from clothing stores to
Doesn't matter.
There's something
Restaurants,
here.
food
stores
shops.
to
anything.
food
There's
stores.
there's some other things here.
What things?
Wait. Taz, stay for 1 second. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Oh,
I'm going to
Ross,
stop
okay.
recording
Bye, everybody.
now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Taz, stay for